At some point between now and 2035, a soldier will fire the last metal projectile on a battlefield. Not because the ammunition ran out, but because something better exists. Faster, cheaper, more precise, and silent. That weapon already exists, and it costs $1 per shot. An AIM-9 Sidewinder missile, one of the most widely used air-to-air weapons in the U.S. arsenal, costs approximately $400,000 per unit. A Patriot interceptor, the most advanced missile defense system in the West, costs between $3 and $6 million per shot. In the conflict in Ukraine, Russia deployed drones costing less than $500. Ukraine intercepted them, using missiles that cost up to 200 times more. A high-energy laser delivers a pulse that destroys its target in seconds. The cost of the electricity required for that shot is roughly $1. This is the arithmetic that is reshaping warfare. And the governments that understood it first are moving quietly. Because whoever gets there first changes the global balance of power. To understand what a laser weapon actually does, you have to forget what Hollywood has shown you. There is no instant beam of light slicing through targets like a hot knife through butter. The real process is more precise, more controlled, and in some ways, more unsettling. A high-energy laser, classified as HEL, or high-energy laser, concentrates a coherent beam of light onto a specific point on the target. Within seconds, the temperature at that point exceeds 1,500 degrees Celsius. The material, whether aluminum, carbon fiber, or steel, begins to expand, deform, and eventually fail structurally. In the case of a drone, the beam strikes the motor. The propulsion system loses integrity, the drone loses control, and falls. In the case of a missile in flight, the beam targets the guidance section, or structural body. The missile doesn't explode dramatically, it simply stops functioning and drops. No sound, no fragmentation, no collateral damage. For military systems, this is not just more efficient, it is a fundamental shift in engagement doctrine. In January 2024, the United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense released information that had been classified for years. DragonFire, a high-energy laser system developed through a partnership between the British government and a consortium of defense companies, including MBDA and Leonardo. The system was tested in northern Scotland. The results, according to the British government itself, exceeded expectations. In one test, DragonFire struck an aerial target at a distance of over 1 kilometer, with centimeter-level precision. The system's power, 50 kilowatts. For context, a typical household microwave operates at less than 1 kilowatt. DragonFire is 50 times more powerful, concentrated into a point smaller than a coin. The cost per shot, as stated by the Ministry of Defense, less than 13 pounds, roughly $15. $15 to destroy a drone that costs $50,000. The United States did not fall behind. In fact, most British and European programs were built on technology shared with the US. HELIOS, high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, was installed aboard the USS Preble, a US Navy destroyer, in 2021. Power, 60 kilowatts. Titan, Tactical Intelligence Targeting Access Node, is a ground-based system developed by the U.S. Army for engaging drones and artillery projectiles. In 2023, the Pentagon allocated more than $1 billion to directed energy weapons programs, the largest investment in a single weapons category since the F-35 program. But there is a detail that official statements rarely mention: the atmosphere. In November 2014, the United States Navy conducted the first operational test of a laser weapon in a real-world combat environment. The system? LAWS, the Laser Weapon System. The platform? USS Ponce in the Persian Gulf. The target was an unmanned drone flying at moderate speed over the ocean. LAWS locked onto the target in less than 2 seconds. Within 4 seconds, the drone was burning and falling into the sea. Officers present described the moment as surreal. A silent weapon with no recoil and no visible projectile, destroying a target in midair as if it were magic. Rear Admiral Matthew Clunder, the Navy's chief of research at the time, stated in a press briefing, "This technology is ready. This is not science fiction. It's here today." What he did not say in that briefing, and what internal documents revealed years later, is that the system failed in 3 out of 7 tests conducted that week. The causes of those failures? Atmospheric turbulence, air humidity, and in one case, simple dust interference. The most advanced laser in the world, defeated by dust.
To understand why lasers have not yet dominated the battlefield, you need to understand what happens to coherent light as it travels through non-ideal air. The phenomenon is known as the thermo-optic effect, or blooming in military terminology. When a high-energy beam travels through the atmosphere, it heats the surrounding molecules. That heating creates variations in air density, which bend and disperse the beam itself. In practical terms, the more powerful the laser, the more it heats the air, the more the air distorts the beam, and the less efficient it becomes. A physical paradox that no engineering solution has fully overcome. There are also tactical limitations. A laser requires direct line of sight to its target. There is no engagement beyond the horizon, no firing through physical cover. A cloud of smoke, costing only cents to produce, can render $100 million laser system effectively useless in seconds. Russian and Chinese forces have already tested low-cost countermeasures against U.S. laser systems, reflective coatings on drones, ceramic shielding, and high-speed evasive maneuvers. Laser warfare, like every technological arms race, has already become its own game of chess.
If you watched our previous episode on the B-2 Spirit, you already know that water is a silent enemy of advanced military technology. With lasers, the problem is even more fundamental. Rain, fog, and humidity disperse light beams in much the same way they scatter sunlight, creating what physicists call atmospheric attenuation. Under moderate rain conditions, a 100 kilowatt laser system can lose up to 70% of its effective efficiency. In dense fog, it can become completely inoperable. Engineers at Lockheed Martin, developers of the HELIOS system for the U.S. Navy, are working on real-time atmospheric compensation algorithms. The system continuously adjusts beam focus and intensity based on atmospheric sensor data.
It is an elegant solution, partial and expensive. The fundamental conflict is this. The regions where lasers would be most useful, the Persian Gulf, the South China Sea, Northern Europe, are also regions with highly variable atmospheric conditions. The weapon of the future is still vulnerable to rain.
While Western programs were being announced in press briefings, China and Russia developed their own capabilities in silence. In 2018, a laboratory affiliated with the Chinese Academy of Sciences reportedly developed the ZKZM500, a portable laser rifle with a claimed range of 800 meters, capable of carbonizing human tissue without leaving ballistic traces. The claim raised alarm within Western intelligence communities, not because of the hardware itself, the specifications were widely questioned, but because of what it signaled. China had decided that laser infantry weapons were no longer science fiction. Russia took a more discreet approach. The Pereswet system, named by Vladimir Putin after a medieval warrior monk, was revealed in 2018 as a vehicle-mounted high-energy laser with a declared capability to blind satellites in low Earth orbit. To blind satellites. Not destroy them, blind them, temporarily disabling optical sensors without creating debris that could be traced as an act of war. A weapon designed specifically to operate in the gray zone between peace and conflict. The Pentagon classified Pereswet as one of the most significant emerging strategic threats of 2020. There is a scenario that military strategists refer to as laser saturation. The logic is simple and unsettling. If both sides in a conflict possess effective laser defense systems, conventional missiles become obsolete. Drones become obsolete. Long-range artillery becomes obsolete. What remains is infantry, armored vehicles, and close combat. Ironically, the most advanced weapon of the 21st century could push armies back toward 20th century doctrine. But there is a second scenario, and in the short term, a more likely one. Technological asymmetry. If only one side possesses effective laser systems, that side can neutralize the opponent's entire arsenal at marginal cost. Each enemy drone destroyed for $1. Each missile intercepted for less than the price of a cup of coffee. This is the scenario that explains why governments that do not yet have this technology are growing increasingly concerned, and why those that do are accelerating. In 2023, Ukraine reported intercepting more than 3,700 Iranian-made Shahed drones launched by Russia. Each Shahed costs approximately $20,000. Each missile interception cost between $140,000 and $500,000. Ukraine spent more than $500 million intercepting low-cost drones, missiles that now need to be replenished. If Ukraine had point defense laser systems costing $1 per shot, the economics of the war would change completely. It is no coincidence that the United Kingdom accelerated the DragonFire program after observing this arithmetic in Ukraine. It is no coincidence that the United States approved emergency funding for directed energy systems in 2023. Low-cost drone warfare exposed a critical vulnerability in modern militaries, and the solution is already being built. The question is, who will get there first? There is a question military reports do not ask, but historians will 50 years from now. When the ultimate weapon is made of light, When military power is defined by who has more energy and better control algorithms, what happens to the global balance of power? Today, a nation can build a conventional military through decades of investment, recruitment, and training. It can stockpile missiles, tanks, and aircraft. Tomorrow, if lasers dominate the battlefield, military power becomes a direct function of technological capability and energy generation. Nuclear reactors, solar arrays, supercomputers. It is a shift that favors nations already leading in semiconductor technology and those that control advanced electronics supply chains. You can probably imagine which countries those are. The wars of the future will not be won on battlefields. They will be won in chip factories in Taiwan and physics labs in Shenzhen and Cambridge. And they have already begun. The age of projectiles is not over yet, but the clock is ticking. At some point in this decade, a laser system will intercept its first ballistic missile under real combat conditions. When that happens, no military in the world will be able to ignore it any longer. If this episode changed the way you see warfare, the next one will do the same.